In the previous lesson, we looked at your 1, your 2, your 3, your 5, and your 6, and the notes that correspond directly above them and directly below them. The one below them is a 4th away, and the one above is a 5th away. Now, that's fairly simple on these strings right here, but when you go from the G string, when you go from this string, the G string, to the B string, we mentioned that the B string is tuned a half step down. If you are going down the scale from G to B is only 3 steps, G, A, B. So we got to have it as a 4th. So the next one up would be a C. So we got to move our fret up 1 fret and match that. That's a C. Okay, just a half step up. So to understand that, we're going to look back here where our C is. Right here on the G string. It's on the 5th fret on the G string. That's a C note. Basically we got our C there and an octave higher C there. That's also designated as our 1. If you go according to the pattern that I showed you, right above it is a 5th. That doesn't change because we're still dealing with these strings up above it. Where it changes is when you go to this B string. When you go to that B string, remember you've got to go up a half a step. Normally the 4 would be right below the 1. But since we're dealing with the B string, we've got to go up a half a step. So that would be the 4. So you got a 1, 4. If you go up here to your 2, you got a 2, 5. 5 is directly below the 2, is a 4th below the 2. You got a 3, you got to move it up a half step. That would be a 6. Now if you're going from the B string up to the G string, then you've got to move it backwards. So if I'm right here, let's just go up here to my G note. And we're going to designate that as my 1. Let's say I'm in the key of G. Right there. Okay, that would be my 1. Directly below it is my 4. Normally it would be right above it would be my 5th. But since this is my B string and it's been tuned down a half a step, when I go up I've got to go actually backwards a half tone or semitone. 1 fret. So when I go up from here, that's my 1. And I go up and over a half step, and that's my 5. Okay? So if that's my 1, that's my 5. Directly above my 5 is my 2. Whole step over is my 1. Directly above my 1 is my 5. Directly above the 5 is a 2. Go back over, got my 1 again. I hope you can see, I hope my fingers aren't in the way. So, I hope that makes sense, going from the G string to the B string. When I go to the B string, I've got to go up half a step. If I go from the B string to the G string, I've got to go back a half a step. Alright, next lesson we'll look at 4 and 7. We've looked at the 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. Now we're going to look at the 4 and the 7. Now that we know the relationship between the B and the G string and how that B relates to it, then maybe we can understand how that the 4 and the 7 works.